Hola, habari yako, habari za leo. Welcome to a Rooted podcast, rooted in faith, purpose, growth, and success. It is a space that brings honest conversation that goes beyond surface success. It taps into what grounds us and what grows us. In today's conversation, we are diving into the she world, where we get to celebrate the tireless effort they put in despite the pain, despite the mood swings, despite the crazy cravings they go through. We are in the month of May, of course, and today it is the 28th, where we get to celebrate our women. It is Menstrual Hygiene Day. Happy Menstrual Hygiene Day to every woman out there and to every girl out there. And to break it down for you, I'm not alone. Of course, I'm with my celebrity. I call her my celebrity because she is a celebrity. She's one person who's full of knowledge, and I'm very sure that she's going to break it down for you to understand the importance of this day. My love, you're welcome.
Thank you. It's the title is just too much. Yo, come on, bring it down a bit.
I'm not gonna do that. You deserve it.
Yeah, but thank you so much for having me, Sarafina. I really appreciate.
You're welcome. So for those that doesn't know Temmie talks, just tell them, elaborate it for them so that they know the girl for them to know that indeed you are a celebrity.
No, no. Okay, so my name is Temwani Mweemba, the host of Temmie Talks, a show that actually aims to foster positive change through having meaningful conversations with different kinds of people that brings their stories. And of course, we look at, we tap into the grace of those that have gone ahead of us and try to learn from certain things where they went wrong, and also lessons from them, because we believe at Temmie Talks that sometimes we don't always have to make a mistake for you to learn in life. Sometimes you learn from other people's mistakes.
Of course. So talking about today, we are celebrating the Menstrual Hygiene Day.
We're celebrating us.
Of course, us, of all the pain that we go through, and people don't even understand that we put in a lot of effort to just maintain it, to just keep it cool, because it's not easy.
It's trust me, it's not easy. From the day it just gives you signals. You see where you even not to say maybe for some it's like 2 weeks before the actual your menstrual cycle begins, and then now everything just starts from there. Others will feel nauseous, others will have pimples on their faces. Like, speaking from experience, personally, I go through hell. Like 2 weeks before, I go through hell. Like, I want to eat this, I want to eat that, I want this.
A lot of cravings
and things that I don't even, personally, when I'm okay, I don't even eat those things. But when I'm there, I'm craving for jiggies, I'm craving for sweets. I'm like,
and sometimes you just want to be okay, but because of the hormones, you just don't. You can't be okay.
I snap out of emotions, but it's a whole crazy cycle that really needs understanding, that really needs support. And if you're around people that don't understand or don't support you, trust me, it feels like they're just adding up to the pain, because it's crazy. It's crazy.
I know. So, what do you know about this day? What do you understand by menstrual hygiene?
Okay, to begin with, what I understand by menstrual hygiene, first, I think one would say, but why celebrate menstrual hygiene? I mean, it's just one of those things. Why celebrate it, and basically why on the 28th and 28th of May and 5th of May. So we celebrate menstrual hygiene on the 28th because 28 actually symbolizes the overall cycle of a woman. The overall 28 days of a cycle that actually we women experience. So it's within 28 days another cycle begins. So that's why
average length.
The average length. So that's why we celebrate it on the 28th. But why May specifically? So May is actually the 5th month in a year, and 5th represents the 5 days overall. The overall 5 days that menstruation should actually last. So for some people it's 3 days, but of course the overall should be like 5 days. Of course we understand that in cases of maybe abnormalities, others even go up to 7 days, like a week. But 5th actually symbolizes 5 days, which is I think the normal period to which menstruation should last. So that's why we celebrate menstrual hygiene on the 28th of May. So looking forward to this day, where we actually celebrate women, as you said, to say despite the cravings, despite the pain, because it's not just the cravings that we go through, it's not just the mood swings and everything, it's also about the pain that actually some people, I would say maybe it's a 50-50% kind of a thing. Some people don't actually experience pains, and then the people that experience menstrual cramps, you get right, where throughout the 5 days or the 3 days that you are experiencing your menstruation, you're actually going through pain. Yeah. So now coming back to what menstrual hygiene is. Menstrual hygiene is actually, for me, I would say the actions or the practices that somebody takes in order to manage their period safely in a hygienically way. I think that would be like the simplest definition that I can give. Of course, people have got different definitions out there, but that's just my simple definition.
That's it.
I think practices or steps or actions that a person takes in order for them to manage their periods in a very safe and in a very hygienic way.
So this initiative was brought about so that it breaks the silence,
and the stigma,
and also the myth that we have, because we think, especially in the rural areas, they think, you know, it's just the mothers who needs to know about that. The father has no right to ask you, do you have pads? Are you on your menstruals? Yes, it's a taboo. So it was brought about so that we can break that silence, you know, and also educate our young girls out there, and also other women, because there are a lot of people who have little knowledge about the menstrual hygiene.
Very true.
Sometimes, you know, someone may be at that time of the month and they don't know how to keep themselves clean. That saint can still be deceived by others. And you know,
that's why it brings us back to the definition of the practices and the actions that one must take in order for them to manage their periods in a safe and, of course, in a very hygienic way. But how do they manage that? How can they take those precautions? How can they take those steps if they are not taught about it? Imagine maybe here's a 12-year-old. Some girls actually grow as early as 10 years old. You can now here's a 10 years old who is in between, like the mindset is in between that of a child who still wants to play around, who still wants to sit anyhow, and basically,
and, you know, talking about that, there's a child I heard, you know, got matured at the age of 8.
Yeah, they're there. They're there. So depending on your hormones, and also some people will link it to tradition, depending on your tribe, depending on your what, you know, stuff like that. So it depends, but actually we don't overlook the fact that yes, girls do actually begin their menstrual cycles as early as 8, as you put it, because I've actually heard that story also somewhere, somehow. So it's very important to make sure that we educate the girls. It's very important that as early as they start, because you might not know when exactly they'll start. Where would they start from? Maybe they'll start from school and it's happening for the first time. How do they handle that? You get it? So when they have knowledge about what they are supposed to do about the menstrual cycle, because it can be very embarrassing. Imagine you get stained, and then how do you go about the road? And then what kind of picture are people going to have about you? And then let's not overlook the fact that there's also the aspect of the scent and everything. And if it's not managed properly, you know, it just stinks. And they said the first cut is the deepest. So if people come across you in that state where you are stinky, in that state where you are stained and everything, that's like the picture they will carry all along to say, no, that's a very awful experience. Maybe that person is dirty, that person is what, like they will have a hard time trying to readjust to the maybe clean you, the other person that is you. So it's always important that we disseminate information about menstrual hygiene. We talk about these things and how a person can actually manage their periods in a very clean way, in a very hygiene way. It's about how are they being supported, because there are a number of things that has to be put in place for menstrual hygiene to be really for menstruation to really be managed properly. We talk of the aspect of what's needed, the pads, the sanitary pads. These are things that are expensive that you don't just go and get and you are given. And also, so you really need to have somebody who's supporting you. Maybe you're a young person, say, as we gave an example of the child who was just 8 years old. Are you telling me she's going to have money for her to purchase sanitary pads? Of course no, she'll need support from the mom, she'll need support from... Now say maybe the mom is not there at that particular time and we're saying it's a taboo to talk to the fathers. How is the child going to adjust?
We just talk of those that are underprivileged, those people in communities that, you know, they can't even manage to get a 20 kwacha and buy sanitary pads.
How are they going to do that? You get it. So even when we talk of, yes, if they can't afford sanitary pads, there's also the aspect of using clothes and everything. But they have to be educated about how they use those things. How regularly are they supposed to change those things? How are they supposed to reuse them? Because when we talk of clothes, we are talking about the aspect of reusing them, right? So we talk of how many times are they supposed to wash them? For how long are they supposed to wear them? The side effects of using clothes, the disadvantages, the advantages, and stuff like that. They have to be educated, because it's not like, okay, I've started my menstrual cycle. Let me just get a cloth and then I put it. What kind of cloth are you supposed to wear? Those are things that are supposed to be there. And if people don't really talk about menstrual hygiene, don't really spread the information, this is where now we find that you know, as we said, this can be a very stinky process, like a very stinky, a very dirty process if it is not managed properly. But how it can be managed properly is about what kind of information do we have? Exactly, what kind of information do we have? Because it is the same right information that will bring about support. It is the same right information that will bring about the necessities that are needed for a person, for a young girl, for a woman to actually use when they are on their menstrual cycle. And also addressing, because the right information will also help us address the myths that are there. You talked of one of the myths that are there to say, no, when you're on your menstrual cycle, because of tradition, because of what your father shouldn't know that you're on your menstrual cycle, and a lot other things to say, you're not supposed to cook when you're on your menstrual cycle.
You're not supposed to add salt to the food.
Exactly, you know, all those myths. But I believe with such days, like as they had put it, to say on the 28th of May, we will be celebrating World Menstrual Day. So it's not just about celebrating, okay, we celebrate it and then it ends there. It's about continuing to spread information about menstrual hygiene. It's about continuing to break the silence and the stigma and also the myths that are just around menstrual hygiene. I feel like I've spoken a lot. I speak too much. Please cut me. I speak too much.
And also talking about information and also police advocacy, where we get to advocate for policies that, you know, will be included for us to be educated and also to have the right information at our disposal, so that we know how to tackle this this matter, because a lot of girls out there, they are, you know, it's just too much for them and they don't know how to handle it. And you know, menstrual also comes with emotional breakdown.
Exactly.
And if you don't know how to handle it, you get into depression. And that's not just good. Anyway, let me just give you the platform. Go ahead. You wanted to say something. I know you've got a lot of things to say.
No, just on emotional breakdown, and also as we said, to say it comes with mood swings and stuff like that, and sometimes it comes with pain. So here's a package of a lot of things that a human being is carrying for a period of like 5 days. You can imagine. So you're carrying cramps, you're carrying mood swings, you're also carrying cravings at the same time, right? And then here's somebody who doesn't understand. You're telling them, you know, I'm having cramps. I may not be able to function properly as I do.
Men, they don't understand.
Yes, that's one thing I would really love to address. So this goes to the people that are in relationships. I'm not addressing, let me say, even those that are actually not in relationships, so that basically at the time that you would want to be in a relationship, you might want to understand the person that you're actually dating. So as women, as ladies, we go through a lot when we are in that period of our menstrual cycle. So it's a lot to handle. The pain for some people is actually unbearable, such that they even end up in the hospital just for them to actually be okay. And take, although it's not advice for us to take medication on that. And then here's somebody who tells you, it will be okay, you will not die.
Just for a few days.
Exactly, that's the thing. Like, you will not die. It's just for guys. Come on. It's a lot, and then all we ask for during this period is your understanding and your support, not you back. You know why you backlash somebody? They're telling you, I'm not really okay. Just put up with them for that period of 5 days, for that period of 3 days. Give them what they want. If they want jiggies, don't laugh at them at a whole big girl like you wanting jiggies. Please buy her jiggies, because it's not her fault. That's just something that is natural. You get, if she wants puffs, she wants briskets, she wants sweets, just get them for her. If she says, I don't want to talk to you, give her the space that she wants, because this is something that is not intended. I know most people feel like, most men feel like she's just pretending, she just wants attention. Of course, most of us really love attention at that period of time. So give us the attention we need. Give us the support that we need. Pads. Make sure you make it a routine, as you make it a habit to buy them airtime, so that you can be talking to them every day. Make it a habit to also buy sanitary pads for them, so that they can be clean. And I mean, who would want to have a girlfriend who is stinky? Who would want to have a girlfriend who is not really confident? Who's not? Because, you know, when you're not smelling nice, you don't carry the confidence. You lack confidence. So it's cleanliness that actually also brings confidence in a woman. So make it a habit to buy sanitary pads for them, because it's for me, I also feel like, oh my God, so I have to buy sanitary pads again. my budget of buying these things, and I also have to lessen the budget for us, so that we don't also get to worry about that thing. So support. I think the major thing here is about support. We don't pretend. We go through a lot. And it's not easy. So support. At least if you can be there for us with money, with what, just your presence, just your attention, and just saying, babe, it's okay.
You're gonna pass through this phase.
You're going to go through, you come out of this phase and everything. Just that is important, not why you say, I know I've heard that a lot of times, you can't die. No, it's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot that comes with menstrual. And so, as we celebrate World Menstrual Health Day, we just want to let you guys know to say, support us. It's not easy, and your support, not just by being there physically, also support us in purchasing the necessary things that we need for us to smell good, necessary things that we need for us to manage ourselves, and make sure that when we go out there, we walk out with confidence.
Oh yes, you have heard it right from Miss Temmie Talks. You know, whether you're the one menstruating or supporting the one who's doing it, together we can create a world where menstruation can be managed with dignity and without shame. This has been the Rooted Podcast with me and Temmie Talks. It's a bye-bye from us.
Bye-bye.